what's going on in the real estate market? We're gonna get into that right now. Hey everyone, it's Alex Fung here from Remax Hallmark Daryl King team, and today we're gonna be talking about the Vaughan real estate market. Let's just get started. Heard right now that the real estate market is starting to soften, and the Bank of Canada is raising interest rates, which is causing buyers to pull back, right? So there are a couple of underlying issues, okay? So the first thing is the psychology of the average buyer. Right now, they are listening to a lot of mainstream media, okay? They take the, they take the headlines and they implement that strategy, okay? Now if you did that pre-pandemic, okay, and listened to the CEO of CMHC, you wouldn't have bought a home because they were estimating that the prices would go down by 18%. But in fact, 2 years later, homes gone from 30, 40, 50, 60%, depending on the area. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? So the mainstream media is really extrapolating the most polarizing data points. So for example, they're comparing February, which is all-time highs. Every single day I see these headlines, okay? But in reality, if you compare a real estate as an asset class versus, the stock exchange and the crypto market exchanges, right? They take at least a minimum of a year, really, and compare the performance, right? And I will be doing that for you in a couple of minutes, okay? But just to give you a short indication, that the Nasdaq Composite, which is one of the major composites in the stock exchange in the US, it's gone down by 18.5%, okay, from the same time frame, okay? And the crypto market, it's gone down by about 30%. Now the real estate market in the communities I'm talking about today, it's all outperformed them. It doesn't even matter what type of home you've had, okay? And I'll be diving more into that a little later on. Now, the second reason why people aren't buying homes is the fact that because lenders are starting to be more strict when it comes to lending out money and mortgages, right? So now, I've talked to a couple of mortgage brokers and they said that now banks are asking them to provide a 35% down payment, whereas before it wasn't as high, okay? And you may be thinking too, as a buyer, will prices stabilize? And of course they will, right? The main reason, number one, is the immigration, right? So last year alone, we've had a record-breaking amount of immigrants coming to Canada, right? Over 400,000. And actually, Canada's making it easier for people with highly skilled workers to apply for permanent residency. Okay, this was introduced and started implementing since 2020. Okay. And most of the, immigrants will come to, GTA, Toronto, and the employment growth rate is about 8.5%, okay? Now, if you are an investor and you're thinking about selling, here's a reason why you should, okay? If you're renting it out right now, right? So you probably know that legally wise, you can only raise your rent by about 1.2% for 2022. And in 2023, you can only raise it by 2.5%. The problem is that the Bank of Canada did say that the inflation from May 2021 to May 2022 is 7.7%, which then means that you're losing 6.5% this year and then 5.2% next year. Okay, so that's a big problem. Now, if you are someone that's looking to just, downsize, you may consider, actually cashing out at a high, right? Although it might not be as high as February, it's still high compared to the year before, okay? And all time, okay? I've talked to a lot of people right now, a lot of my clients, and a lot of them want to downsize, right? Mostly because, health-related issues, specifically, the needs, right? They want to go from a detached home to, a condo or a bungalow, right? It's definitely possible. And now is a good time to think about it. Okay, so let's just jump right into the numbers now. There were 259 homes sold, and the year before that was 507, right? So that's almost 50% decrease in the number of sales, okay, compared to the year before. And the number of listings has actually been higher, right? So it's about almost 24% increase in more listings, okay? And yet the average price point still gone up by 0.5%, okay, from year to year. Now, the type of market really means is, is it a buyer's market, seller's market? Is it a balanced market? And a balanced market really is the number of months of inventory to actually sell out, right? So right now we're at 3 months worth of inventory, which then means that we are still in a seller's market, okay? A balanced market is more for 6 months, and after that, it's going to be a buyer's market. Okay, this is just the average. Detached homes, almost 55% of homes, detached homes have been affected, less buyers, right? Now there are about 10% additional listings, and the average price went up by about 1.66%, okay? And the type of market, it's still a seller's market. It has doubled though, okay? And it takes the same amount of time to sell a home, about 15 days. Now for semis, it didn't decrease as much, okay? For about 15%, 15.6% less sales, okay, from June 2022 versus June 2021. And there are a lot more listings available, 65%. Okay, now the average sale price though has gone up dramatically, okay, about 12.5%. Okay, and the type of market, it's still a seller's market, okay? There's still not a lot of semis right now in Vaughan, okay? Now it is taking longer to sell though, okay? From 9 days to 15 days. This townhome, had 11 sales, okay? And then in 2021, in 2022, there's 40 townhomes, okay? So that's actually went the opposite compared to the 2 types of homes you were talking about. Okay, so that's about 260% increase in the number of sales of townhomes, okay, within Vaughan. Now, the number of listings has gone up as well, about 41%, and the average price has gone up over 8%. Now, the type of market, okay, which is very interesting here, is that 5.5 months worth of inventory down to 2.15, okay, and the days on market, it is taking a little bit longer. Okay, so this is a very interesting point, okay, if you were looking to get a townhome within Vaughan. The next one we want to talk about is a condo townhome, okay? So condo townhomes, similar to, the other two other 2 homes, it decreased from 20 homes to 5 homes in terms of sales. And, in terms of the number of listings, it went up by about 21%. And the prices have gone up though, okay, which is interesting, which is 14%. Now there's only 5 homes that did sell. So, take that for a grain of salt, okay, for what it is. It's not a big enough number. Okay, so 1 home could have been totally renovated and, sold, and that number average price could be skewed, okay? Now, the type of market, this one is interesting. Now it is actually, we are in a buyer's market, okay? Because now the type of market's gone up and beyond 6 months worth of inventory. And it is taking about 8 additional days to sell a condo townhome in Vaughan. Okay, so last but definitely not least is the condo apartments. Okay, so there are about 35% less transactions for the condo apartments within Vaughan. Okay, in terms of active listings, they're about there's about 50% increase when it comes to available listings, and the type of market has gone up, okay, about 3.65, and it takes about the same amount of time to sell that type of home. So if you have any questions, okay, please let me know and I'll be happy to help. Take care. Bye-bye.